Today we visit Wat Khao Jom Thong in Korat. Here, the look nimit, 9 large round boundary stones, are displayed in front of the Baisema, stone leaf-shaped slabs that are placed at the 8 cardinal points around a Buddhist prayer hall to demarcate the consecrated ground on which it is built. Wat Khao Jom Thong is a Buddhist mountain temple located in Khonburi Tai, in Khonburi district of Nakhon Ratchasima province in northeastern Thailand. The mountain is known as Khao Jom Thong or Phu Chom Thong, and both names freely translate as mountain with a golden peak. At its foot, the temple built a staircase that leads towards the mountain summit and which opened on the 21st of August, 2016. Along the first section of the staircase are the kuti, literally cubicles or cells, and refers to the lodgings or living quarters of Buddhist monks within temples and monasteries. After a brief journey, we encounter a road covered with moss that leads towards a large edifice. Those seeking a more leisurely approach to the somewhat challenging ascent may opt to commence their climb on foot from this juncture. Just a short distance further uphill, we encounter a large boulder with wooden sticks leaning against its base. These sticks are placed there by visitors to symbolically support the rock. This superstitious practice is widespread in nature throughout Thailand and is purely symbolic. It is also observed at overhanging rock cliffs. The belief is that placing a stick will impart strength and virility to the individual, contingent upon the rock not falling. Before continuing our ascent, we veer off onto a side path that leads us to a charming grotto with a water well. With an elongated coconut shell ladle, in Thai called a kra bue, visitors can drink from this sacred well, which is known by the name Bo Nam Tip, meaning angelic water well. A Thai informational billboard elucidates that the water from the well was once consumed by revered Luang Po monks in the past, and continues to be so by monks embarking on a Thudong, a Buddhist pilgrimage. An adjacent shrine houses a small Buddha statue alongside a depiction of Naga, the mythical serpent revered as the guardian of the Buddha and protector of earthly waters, as well as the symbol of fertility, steadfastness, wealth, and abundance. Returning to the main path, the staircase ascends through a tunnel formed by crooked bamboo, shaped by the wind and the weight of its own culms. Somewhere halfway up the trail is a salar, an open-sided gazebo-like pavilion, where one can rest or shelter for protection against the sun or rain. At the summit of this section's staircase, a sizable rock hosts a golden Buddha statue. Following a sign, we diverge toward the cliff edge to enjoy a panoramic view of the surrounding area. The summit overlooks the Mun Bon Reservoir. From here, we go back to the main staircase to continue our ascent further up the mountain. The last part towards the summit consists of a metal staircase. From here, we have a magnificent view of the Mun Bon Reservoir, on which fishermen have built traps and platforms with nets. Though, this level is not yet the summit and there are more stairs to climb. And the higher we climb, the nicer the views get. While traversing through a natural tunnel of boulders, we encounter the remnants of a bygone wooden staircase, as well as some ancient inscription and an image of the Buddha seated on a lotus, painted on a rock face. One can only but imagine how frightening an ascent over this ramshackle wooden staircase in the past must have been. We finally reach the summit and find that at the edge there is little more between us and the ravine than a simple wooden stick. We opt to keep a safe distance. Continuing upward, we encounter another seemingly metallic railing, yet noticeably anchored with insufficient strength, as it has toppled toward the cliff's edge, perhaps succumbing to the weight of someone leaning on it. As the trail ascends one way and descends another, visitors can seamlessly follow the path without the necessity to backtrack. A small grotto at the summit is home to several Buddha statues that gaze towards the south. On this lofty side of the mountain's peak is a cliff in the shape of a turtle's head. The trail occasionally lacks a distinct path, yet consistent signage at regular intervals guides us towards key points of interest. From this elevated vantage point, the temple structures below come into view, marking the starting point of our ascent. The summit trail winds through a dense bamboo forest and skirts along steep cliffs, offering breathtaking panoramic views. On this rock, earlier visitors have placed cairns, man-made stacks of stones commonly used as memorials or tangible markers, symbolizing their presence and marking their passage. Towards the eastern side of the summit is a large golden Buddha statue in the Maravichai pose, subduing Mara and symbolizing victory over evil. The statue is a copy of the Praput Buddha image at Wat Khao Ratnamahathat in Pitsanyalok. Behind the statue is an ornamental frame known as a crystal palace. A simple hut houses the temple's bell, crafted from the front section of a decommissioned bomb. Traditionally, Thai Buddhists strike a temple bell 3 times as a gesture of homage to the triple gem, comprising the Buddha, his teachings known as the Dharma, and the monastic community called the Sangha. Striking the bell 3 times serves as a profound expression of respect towards these 3 fundamental aspects of Buddhism. It symbolizes the practitioner's commitment to taking refuge in the triple gem for spiritual guidance and protection. There are plans to build a large Khmer-style sanctuary at the summit, and in 2014 a foundation stone towards this goal was laid in a special ceremony, while a scale model of what the finished prasat-like building must look like is located in a hangar of the temple at the foot of the mountain, as seen in the beginning of this video, and shown at the bottom of an information sign at the summit. However, a decade later, construction on the initially estimated 20 million baht project has yet to be commenced. Before descending along the path from the summit, we choose to head towards another viewpoint along the southwestern outer edge of the cliff summit. Here, we observe a makeshift wooden ladder leading into a crevice. However, with the sun beginning to set, we find ourselves with limited time to delve deeper into this and instead opt to savor the sunset and then make our way back to the main temple, before darkness envelops the surroundings entirely. Yet, as we head back, we can't resist doing a short last detour to the summit's outermost edge on the western side, where we in the distance witness some slash and burn technique, an agricultural method in which vegetation is cut down and burned before the land is cultivated. Farmers typically employ this method to clear fields for planting crops. The process involves slashing or cutting down vegetation, letting it dry, and then setting it on fire. The ashes from the burned vegetation add nutrients to the soil, serving as a form of natural fertilizer. And while slash and burn agriculture can be effective for short-term cultivation, it has significant environmental drawbacks. The downward trail descends along a comfortable path, and even though we thought we had seen everything, there are still some surprises ahead. First, Dom spots a white squirrel, and although I saw it too, I am too late to film it. Then, much to our surprise, the trail takes us by a lush rock face adorned with golden images of the Buddha, as well as of some other characters from Buddhism, such as Pra Siwali, the traveling monk holding a monastic umbrella. It is said that due to his merit, he achieved enlightenment on the very day of his ordination, the moment he had his hair cut off, with the very first cut of the razor blade. We also see a statue of Pra Upakut, a Buddhist deity who is believed to protect and have authority over all water. Amongst the many Buddha statues, we see all the various postures that belong to the system of personal worship in which each day of the week corresponds to a certain Buddha image. As we pass another salar shelter, the encroaching fatigue is accompanied by the onset of darkness, compelling us to persist in our descent. Our visit to the mountain and its temple lasted just over an hour, leaving us with a joyful memory. This fantastic experience compels us to highly recommend a visit to this secluded mountain monastery, especially for those who relish adventure.